Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 171. I am B.
I'm Chick.
And we got a real special guest on hand today. What's up, Travis Grant, baby?
Yo, what's good?
As a helicopter lands.
Our timing is impeccable.
It's always great timing. How you doing, Travis?
I'm doing good, brother, man. I'm just capping off that last weekend. I was in rough shape. I was going hard this whole weekend.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend. What did you have a bunch of shows? We did one show on Thursday.
Yeah, we had the one on Thursday, then I had one on Friday, then I had two on Saturday, and then Sunday I was just chilling, and then Monday, just chilling.
Nice. Yeah, that was
the Thursday show was the comedy on tap show.
Yeah, that was what the guys
the one
we had
that we
last
spoke
week.
about last week. Okay,
John
nice.
and Danny.
And
That
it
was
went
fun.
well?
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed myself. We had a nice little hang afterwards.
Yeah, that was a fun show. That was a fun show.
Yeah, it was fun. I
Anybody
drank.
bomb?
Nah.
Nah.
Not that I remember.
All right, I wasn't sure. I always like to
I was
find out
drinking.
if
I was
somebody
drinking
did.
wine the whole night, and then I switched to beer at the end of the night, and it was like, oh god, it was a fun night for me.
What's that saying? Is it wine?
I don't know. I never.
Liquor before beer makes you sicker, or
I don't know.
Beer before liquor, you've never been sicker. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does it like hold weight? That's
I don't
I
think so.
I think if you were, because I remember we were putting that saying to the test when we were like in 9th grade. But it's like, listen, you're 15, you're 120 pounds, like you're just drinking beers at school. You're gonna fucking be drunk and throw up. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. That's how this goes. But I had an interesting Memorial Day weekend myself. I want to start off with one thing because after that, I guess it was Saturday morning. I made a purchase. I bought myself a keyboard.
I don't even know what to say about it because I walked in your apartment and I went to go enjoy a little bit of a joint by your window,
Yes.
and I see this keyboard just sitting there. And that's something I expected to see in, like, when we did it at Taylor's house. Taylor's got the keyboard. And even though he's not a keyboardist. What do you call it?
Keyboardist.
I don't know. What do I even say?
That's what it said. It's
No,
a
it's not.
keyboardist.
What is it? A pianist?
I have no idea.
Either way, he's a
keyboarder?
guitar player, but he can still play the piano. And
Right.
It's useful to him.
Well, here's the
I
thing.
don't see the use for
Here's
you.
the thing. My parents have a piano at the house, and I play around with it, and I enjoy it.
I respect the piano.
Yeah, no, I know. But I can't buy a piano and put it in here.
So get a keyboard?
Well, it's just it plays this. You can learn how to. It's not
Do
the
they
same.
really correlate? Does one correlate to the other?
It's the same. It's electronic, so it's the sound of a piano that you could So it's all the same keys and all that shit.
But if you had a piano in here, that would look pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
This whole entire apartment
It would be.
piano.
It would take. I wouldn't have a kitchen. I'd be like, this is my piano. This is my bedroom. That's it.
Your refrigerator would be for show. You wouldn't be able to get into it.
I
He
can't
would
get
store
into it.
things under the piano.
Oh,
Like,
no,
when you open it up, that would be where all
yeah,
his
one of those
groceries
like
go.
a baby grand. But I am I'm Travis. I don't know if you know about this.
No.
But I'm a nut job. I have like weird anxiety issues.
Okay.
So I don't know anything about the keyboard, and I'm afraid to go into the place and like make a fool of myself, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I go to the Guitar Center. I did a little research on the keyboard because I found the cheapest one for a beginner. So instead of just going in there and be like, hey, I'm looking for this keyboard, I go in with this whole ulterior story where I'm like, I'm buying a keyboard for my little cousin.
I don't get why you can't go there and just be honest.
I don't know. And as I'm
I don't
going
get
through it,
these stories that you make, and
because I'm I'm afraid the guy's gonna ask me about keyboards, and
so
I'm.
you tell him, listen, honestly, I was sitting home. I wanted to learn how to play the keyboard.
It's a
weird-
weird.
do that.
I'm doing it.
It's a weird.
Right?
Like
Do
I feel.
that.
Normal people, that's not like an issue. But he has this weird thing where he goes into stores and he's purchasing anywhere from lunch to a keyboard. He can't.
I have to
he's gotta-
disassociate myself. I can't let the guy know this
What
is
it's
for me.
for.
I have to be like, I'm buying a present for somebody. So I'm like going out of my way and be like, my little cousin wants this. He says this, but I got all the, and he's just like, all right. It's just, and then when I'm sitting there, I'm like, why did I go through that whole charade of like, of going through like a.
I love it.
It's so bizarre.
I want to go with you to witness it.
I do kind of feel like that when I'm at the mechanic.
Oh, totally.
Because when I'm like, hey, let me get an oil change. Like, want regular or synthetic? I was like, well, what would be probably the best for like a Jeep Wrangler? And he's like, well, I mean, I don't know. It's your choice. And I'm like, what about synthetic? And he's just he'll just say things I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, Dick, just give me the best one.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Is give me the. I always when I'm in a situation like that, I always just say like don't go too high. Don't give me the bottom. Just give me the middle of the road.
Maybe that's a good way to look at it.
I just say give me middle of the road because I don't want to pay out of my ass, but I don't want to. Don't give me the cheap shit.
Yeah.
I don't want the expensive stuff.
I always go for the cheap shit. And then also this guy, because I don't know why, but he goes. I said, I heard my cousin told me that this particular thing needs a power adapter.
He should have been like, where's your cousin?
I said it's a birthday present. I have a whole story in my head that I played with this guy. And he goes,
did you forget your line at one point?
No, I knew my line.
Nobody buys their cousin a keyboard.
Maybe I do.
You don't buy your cousin
I
a keyboard.
bought my cousin that keyboard. But he...
Is your cousin autistic? I like keyboards. Pounding on a keyboard all day.
At one point, the customer service guy is like, you have to buy a power adapter in here. And it was like $60. And I'm like, really? It's expensive? And the guy looked at me. He's like, yeah, that's Yamaha's for you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. My cousin likes Yamaha.
No, but that's that shit. Like, fuck you then. Then help me out here. I don't work in a fucking music store.
Well, that's
Give
what
me
I'm saying.
the bottom
I
of the
feel
barrel.
like mechanics do it so they want to see what they can probably buy on you.
Yeah,
and musicians
Let me
do it
see.
too.
Yeah, but at that store, I mean, maybe they could figure out, like, I could sell this guy on this and that, but they don't really try and upsell you too much.
By the
in
way,
store.
they did because...
Did they?
Because when I got to the... First of all, I'm already on Amazon looking to have like a power adapter for this keyboard, and I can get for $10. And then when I get to the counter, the guy's like, yeah, you can do the one where it has like a pedal. I don't even know what a pedal would do to a keyboard. Or you can buy this one where it's just the adapter and it's $15. So I'm like, all right, just throw the $15 one in there. But it's like another example of me just acting like a total lunatic. And I see it as I'm doing it, but like I can't help it. Like I get like nervous. It's
like,
weird.
yo, you upsell me, I'll go in the back of the store and just start slamming on the drums for like a half hour.
Dude, that's the other thing about that store. A Guitar Center, if you ever walked in, it's like everybody just wailing away on guitar. Like you can just try to play. So it's every amateur musician. It is a nightmare of a store. It's like it's so loud.
That'd be a horrible store to work at.
It's terrible.
After like a night of.
I just don't like you. Just go in there and be like, listen.
We all know what I should have done. I'm just telling you guys what I did.
It's just.
I know.
It's mind-boggling.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know. I live with the weirdness of
so what made you decide to get this?
I told you, my parents have it. I enjoy playing it.
Yeah, but what did you ever learn any of it?
Yeah, I know a little. I took lessons back in the day. I kind of can play a little stuff. But I want to like learn better, and I'll probably play for 2 months and be done with it. But that's it.
This is along with the banjo that you never took out of your hands,
right there.
And
yeah.
now it's just a prop in your house.
I know. Hey, what do you want from me?
I get it. You know what it is because learning an instrument is tough, and once there's that plateau point where it's like, do I have the time to put into this to get good, or do I just throw it away?
Is it one of those things where it's like a language? Like it's way better if you start young. I mean,
yes,
obviously,
of course.
Obviously, anything is, but
course.
like they're like language is like, yo, it's really pretty crucial if you start young.
If you start young, but the way I look at it is like if I can sit here, if I'm doing half the time I do nothing, and I'm like if I could just like kind of play around on the keyboard, maybe I'll learn like a couple of songs,
Yeah.
and then I'll be playing
End
Billy
goal
Joel.
is always just like 1 or 2 songs.
No,
even for me, but when I played the guitar, like when I was trying to learn how to play the guitar.
You just want to learn like
the end goal is like I just want to be able to putz around and not sound terrible.
Right.
And I got to the point where I couldn't play songs. I could play like little riffs of a song maybe, or just with what I knew, I could put together little shit that I make.
Yeah.
But like that was the most of it. I wasn't gonna get a party going.
No. But I always like think like how great would it be if I'm at a place and nobody knows I play the keyboard or the piano.
Whoa!
I start playing the piano, man, or something. Jesus, that would be exciting for people.
I was gonna say, what songs would you play?
Well, probably Billy Joel, just because it's Long Island. Like that everybody knows some of those songs. I guess
You gotta do like a one out of left field. You
I
gotta
feel like you should do a Bruce song.
not a lot of piano.
So you figure it out. Anything,
Well,
it's music. You could figure out how to play it on a piano.
Yeah.
Kind of.
What was that? What was that? What the fuck band? Not Pantera, obviously, but oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I learned
No,
Pantera.
not Pantera.
You see,
On
Brendan
the
Ryan
piano?
guy kills on the Pantera songs on the piano. That'd be
The guy who just died this summer. He was the lead singer of this band.
Soundgarden.
No.
He didn't
Oh,
die
Van
this year.
Halen.
Van Halen.
Oh, Van Halen.
Van Halen had
yeah.
that album where
Yeah.
where it was all electric guitar, all electric fucking
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
what about
maybe
one
I'll
of
do
those?
it.
One of those
We'll see what happens. Well, check in with me in another 25 episodes. See where I'm at with the keyboard.
There we go.
guarantee
I
it'll-
can't wait to the
Play
next
us,
episode.
play
He's
us
like,
out.
I
Yeah.
want to intro the song.
It'll be collecting dust in the corner like the rest of my.
well, that's what I'm
It
curious
just-
to see how that thing looks as it gets.
Yeah, because it's a bigger thing. So I don't know. I could put it in the closet. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do with it when I stop playing. That's not a good.
I
sign.
love how you put it like right next to the window, just so
I
you
can look out the
look out the window while playing the piano.
like personally, I feel like it should be right there.
Like that's
Yeah, but it
something.
would take up too much room.
That's something like an old widow does. Just like waiting for the return of her husband from sea, like, playing his electric piano.
There's just a cat in the window as I play the piano. It's sad, so-
Return to me, Bartholomew.
Oh man.
He's gonna be crying one day, just playing his piano and like with the moonlight.
Yeah, well, you guys are all gonna have. I'll have the last laugh when I'm out there playing Pantera on my window.
My weekend, Memorial Day weekend, was so boring and awful.
Yeah.
Well, one, it rained, so I didn't do shit.
the rain
I had
kinda-
zero plans. The rain didn't help anything pop up. And then the Knicks lost 2 out of the 3 games.
Yeah, that was rough.
Manchester City lost the Champions League final. I've been like in a sport depression for like 4 days.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into sports, especially when you're from New York, because we're just inconsistent. Like
Yeah.
as long as we've been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Inconsistent isn't even the word. We've been consistently bad as
True.
a state.
I do love listening to Mike Francesca on Fridays.
Oh, my God.
Freak out. He's like, "Thank you, Jets, for absolute garbage football."
I can go back on his like. There's YouTube of that guy just screaming at people about I love that old show.
Yeah.
There's tons of great YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Where people are pranking him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fantastic.
Wait, it's not around anymore though.
No,
he's
he-
off. He's
Oh.
off the
He
air
retired,
finally.
came back, and then retired again.
Okay, I see. I don't follow sports like that heavy, but I used to drive. Like a medical truck around for a job and like and drop shit off and
okay,
like
good.
that and every
Not
Friday.
patience, right?
No, at one point, yeah.
Really?
That's a whole other story.
God.
But
You driving patience around.
no. I was in the operating room, operating with
What?
machinery, and I was just like coming in from the night before. Just like it was an easy machinery. It was like 4 buttons you press, and then they're like, you had to hook this thing up and give
And
it to
you're
the
in the
doctor.
operating room?
I'm full garb.
Really?
How cool is
Operating.
it looking inside people?
It's pretty cool, honestly. You see some crazy shit, dude. Because
Wow.
what I did, I was a laser tech. So pretty much what they do, they would like it's like pretty much zip out prostates. It's like when
Really?
you're a man, your prostate inflates for the most part, and
Oh
then
my
like
God.
so it makes it hard to pee. So they pretty much like clear a whole nother
That's what they do? They like.
that. Yeah, they clear a whole nother like passage to pee. That and kidney stone removal.
Wow.
And I mean, some people, dude, would have these fucking like. We went to this one guy, and he had like, dude, I mean, I forgot how much. I think it was like 41 kidney stones, and they looked like. You ever watch the Discovery Channel when like a turtle is going into its nest in the beach, and you just see all its eggs because you're going through they go through the dick hole, and so like you see it,
And
like,
you see it on the
on
camera?
the monitor.
Wait, what? Like the machine that you
So
play with?
I-
Well, what
So-
they do is zap it so you could pass it, right?
Depends on what. There's all types of stones.
Okay.
Like usually, if it's more of like a roundish pebblish stone, then they'll just extract them out. They'll just take them out, or they'll break them down a little bit with my laser that I give them, and then they'll extract it. But if they're just like if they're like a crumbly stone, there's such thing as like a jack stone. It looks like a jacks, like from like the game Jacks.
Oh my god.
And like I mean, I can't even imagine
You
what
needed
that
no
fucking
medical
feels.
background for this, right?
I was a tremendous liability being in there.
But what you? I was just gonna say I've met you for a total of 15 minutes now.
You're the last
and
guy
you're
that
the
should be in
last
an
person
emergency
I
room.
would want in
Oh,
the
God.
emergency
Chick,
room.
you and Chick, like I wouldn't want to see Chick. Either one, all of us should not be in an emergency room.
But I want to know how you like. So you get in this emergency, not even emergency room. Like, is it just a job with
It's
equipment?
an operating room.
So, but I'm saying, like,
Yeah, get the words right.
you don't need any medical background.
Oh, I probably did.
Just smooth talking way back there.
Well, my cousin had worked for the job for the company. It was a family owned company, and I'm not gonna name them. Fuck it, Northern Litho. That's the name of them. I don't give a fuck.
yeah.
So
Shout out
like,
to them.
so my company, my cousin had worked for them for like 15 years, and he was looking to get out and like move to Hawaii, and I needed a job at the time, so he hit me up, and he's like, "Hey, we'll start you off just by delivering the equipment, just so you get comfortable with it and what it is, and just like read up on it, research on this equipment, like know your shit." Because obviously you didn't go to school for this, and I was like, no. So I did that for like a year. And then once he was ready to make his move to Hawaii, he was like, all right, start coming with me, start training with me. So I would go in the operating rooms with him, and then he would like bring me up to speed, like he just by levels, and eventually I was able to just do it on my own.
Did you ever have to do anything where like there was an emergency situation and you have to do something? You're not like your duties weren't like that in there.
When it came to like emergencies, it was more so like if something went wrong with my machine, nothing with the patient. Nothing with the patient. Yeah, no, something went wrong with the patient. That's their field.
How do they put it in? It goes in the dick.
So it's pretty much like I come in with this machine, and there's a part on the
You
front of the
don't
machine.
connect it.
No, there's these things called fiber wires. So it's like that. It comes in a package like that big, and you screw it into my machine, and that's where the laser fires out through this like little straw-looking thing. It's like a bendable straw, and so I connect the other line to the bendable straw to the doctor's tools, and then that's how he goes in with it. And he
does all the actual.
No. He'll tell me like bring it up to this watch, bring it up to that watch, like
And he's just on the machine.
And you're just
stabilize
pressing the
it.
buttons.
Yeah, it depends on the guy's like blood pressures, like what you would stabilize, like what wattage, and like that's like.
God.
So it's like but it's once you like know that you're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like sometimes I'd go in there just like blasted from the night before, and
Wake up!
and like it would be crazy. Like I'll just be doing blow till like 8 a.m. And
Some other old man prepping for his surgery tomorrow.
Yeah. So I pick up
Some
like
guy's worried about his life being taken, and
I-
one of the fucking machine guys getting fucking cheesed up.
I got. So I would like pick up another bag. I'm like I gotta wake up for work. And it would be, so I'm picking up another bag. All of the people I'm with are like, yeah, man, I'm probably just gonna lay around all day. Yeah, I gotta go work too. Oh, what do you do for work? I'm like, I'm a medical technician. They're like, what the fuck? What are you serious? I was like, yeah. They're like, I don't know if I could in good health give you that bag. And I was like,
oh my
you gotta
God.
give me the bag because
It's just 4 buttons, man.
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, I was like, you're in on this too now.
I feel like a lot of doctors are on some kind of uppers anyway, right?
Doctors no, but like,
Staff, hell yeah.
Yeah.
there's some staff there.
Yeah,
it's like
you got-
everybody.
like
I mean,
not I was the only asshole that was on the job there, but
Yeah.
like they have their fun on their weekends,
Of course.
for sure.
It's a stressful job. You gotta have
Yeah,
fun on your
you know what? You think like obviously doctors are like another echelon, like upper echelon of like intelligence,
Yes.
obviously, but it's like you kind of like go behind the curtain. You're like, oh yeah, you guys are just kind of like me.
Yeah,
You
he's
gu-
just a guy.
You're kind of
well,
like a guy
I know a lot
who's
of
very.
nurses and stuff, so it always makes me
You're-
wonder what's going on.
You're like a guy who's just really responsible, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and went
like,
through a lot of schooling.
like one doctor in Connecticut was like, he was like, follow me on Twitter, and I followed him, and he would tweet like the most savage shit.
Really?
And like didn't give a fuck. And I followed him, and I saw him again like 2 months later.
What kind of doctor's like, you gotta follow me on Twitter, bro?
Yeah. No, and I was like, oh, okay, man. And he would just curse at like like basketball players, like say all this like savage shit, like sexual shit. And
Oh my God.
And I was like, so I saw him again 2 months later, and I was like, yo, man, your Twitter's pretty serious. And,
You got a good feed.
and he's like, I'm a doctor. I don't care. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna do? You kick me off Twitter? I'm still a doctor. And I was like, yo, honestly, good for you.
Yeah,
Good for you.
this guy knows who he is. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
I guess if I was a doctor, I'd walk around with that. If I was a doctor, you think I'm bad now? If I had,
forget it.
if I
know.
had that type of smarts and responsibility, ooh,
Well, that's
get out the
whole
way.
thing. It's like if you're. I want my doctor to just be comfortable. Like if he's confident, I'm confident.
Right.
I don't want the guy who's like, I'm too nervous, and
Yeah.
like I don't want you as a doctor.
No, yeah, I wouldn't want me as a
I'd
doctor
rather
either.
him.
But the
like,
care I give is better than those guys. I guarantee that.
yeah, because you might kill them. He's gonna be like, fuck this guy. He's gonna be fine because I'm gonna take care of it.
True. If you were a doctor, would you get MD on your license plate to let everybody
Yes.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely,
think
for
I
sure.
would too.
I think you
I-
almost
sorry,
have
yeah,
to.
I think.
Yeah, just punch the kid.
Is that a rule though? Like, do you almost have
No, it's
to
not
let
a
people
rule.
know
you
that
don't,
you're a
you
doctor?
Don't, you don't graduate medical school and they're like, here's your vanity plate
Well,
now.
in the parking lot, you need to.
Yeah,
Because if you're parked, because they're sticklers at parking lots. in
Yeah, but
most
yeah, but you don't need
hospitals.
a license plate that says, Cool Doc 84.
Very
I
true.
didn't say
Okay,
that,
well
but the
then
ones
that
that just
now.
say MD on it, I thought that's like a.
I always thought like that helped them. Like, okay, like they can park in the doctor's lot.
Yeah,
because
I
they
thought
have
it's something
that.
they
But don't
want.
you think if you're a doctor, there's another sticker that you could have? Maybe that's
well,
that's
I
what
would
it
do
is.
something. Like,
I always see that
if I was like the ass dog, like the ass man.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
the ass
I would
man.
love-
You're a proctologist.
whatever my field was, I'd get something clever.
Like as
But I
man.
hate vanity plates. Like I
You don't like vanity plates.
they really bother me. Even the simple, normal ones. I hate when I see
Right.
somebody with a vanity plate. I think
Like a
this
plate- like a
person
plate
went
saying
to the
something stupid.
DMV,
Yeah.
and they thought I wanted to say this on my license. 'cause
Also,
this
I mean-
is funny. This is
Yeah.
and the whole process of it aggravates me.
Also,
And
I don't
makes
know-
me hate you.
I don't know if you've seen the people at the DMV, but like those aren't exactly people that you'd want to like say something corny in front of. Like they're like,
Oh, yeah.
they're like grungy. Like you ever get your car towed and you got to pick it up,
Oh.
and they're like, "What's up, champ?" And you're like, "What's up, man?" They're like that'll be $563 to get it back. You know that, or we could just fucking leave it in the lot. and you're like, "All right, pop." Like. Like they're real like grungy assholes.
They might
definitely.
be the most miserable employees
Yeah.
around.
Probably.
It's got to be one of the worst
It's
jobs.
up there. Yeah, it's a
'Cause
terrible job.
nobody.
It's one of the
wants
worst.
to go
The
to
DMV is one of the worst places to go in the world. There's no, I mean, I shouldn't say there's other bad places too, but
Yeah, it's up there.
but like, it's a terrible place. I don't know what I'm trying to
I'd
say.
rather go to a
You realize I was
dentist.
going
I'd
nowhere
rather
with that.
Get, like, I'd rather go under the knife than go to the DMV.
Yeah, I'd rather be in an emergency room with Travis Grant than the DMV.
Yeah, man. You know what? Now that I'm thinking, I'm regretting that I dropped the company's name.
That's all right. We could always
say
get it
it
out.
out, don't
Yeah,
worry.
good.
We
good.
could always edit it.
There we go.
You're a guy that always, whenever I see you, I like to hang out with you. You know, we've had some good nights. You
We
know,
do, yeah, we
we've known
do.
each other for a few years now. I guess we've had. Some,
Yeah.
But you're a guy. Every time I see you, you're like, bro, this happened to me. Like I remember you telling me one time that you were pissing on somebody. Was that accurate?
Oh yeah, that's during the quarantine. I was making a lot of money doing that. Man.
So that's how you made money.
Yeah, I was doing unemployment, and I was making a lot from unemployment. I was making $820 a week,
Okay.
and then I was making
I'm like, that's not enough. You need more. Is there a man I could piss on? Or
Yeah. I was just like, I took all of quarantine. Like, listen, like right when lockdown first happened, I was doing like the whole workout thing. I was like, no, because everyone's doing it, everyone's being healthy, bleh. And I was like, I'm gonna get into the best shape of my life. And then June hit, and I was like, you know what, dude? This is never gonna happen ever again. This is the only year where you're ever gonna feel like you're in high school again.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
absolutely true.
Where no one,
so true.
where you just have maybe not tons of money like in high school, but like, like you were making tons of money in high school, but
you had money.
You had money, and no one had anything to fucking
you
do.
had time.
I went golfing 30-something times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, dude? Let's just fucking blow all of our money on let's just live like a Rockefeller.
Yeah.
To my standards of
Yeah,
Rockefeller.
you're $800 a week. I'm gonna live like a
820, and
Rockefeller.
then so I was doing that, and I was pissing on this gay dude for
So how'd that happen?
So he was a friend.
Did he
of,
find you or you found him?
Oh
No,
wait, so this wasn't like the whole piss story at first was like I thought people were like, oh, I bet you wouldn't piss on them, and they were
Yeah,
like,
start at the
No.
beginning. So how did
this
it
is a legit,
happen?
Like,
Yeah. Okay. So he's a friend of someone that we know,
Okay.
a comic,
Oh.
and what do you call it? So I was living in Long Beach at the time,
Uh-huh.
and I'm sitting in my living room and I get a text, and it was like,
You're right there.
and it was like, hey, I forgot exactly what he said. He's like, I want you to do this and this to me, whatever. And I was like, who is this? Like immediately, I thought it was a prank.
yeah.
And I was like, who is this? And he didn't tell me. And I was like, so we keep going back and forth with that. And eventually I was like, enough. Like, who the fuck is this? And then he calls me. The person this number calls me.
Oh, so he had you. Oh, he got your number.
He had my number, but it was like a random number. I was trying to figure out who it was. And so I'm like, who is this? I'm not going to tell you. Who is this? I'm not going to tell you. And then eventually he calls me.
I'm not going to tell you. Like, what do you?
I like that you entertain the text and went going with it. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't. And this is one of my things is you never know what's on the other end.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah,
know.
no, yeah, that's a big thing with me. I need to know.
I
Yeah.
need to know. I
would
want to
not.
know.
I would not have went to sleep that night if I didn't know what the fuck that was.
You don't remember what he said to you at first? Like,
I
did
don't
he
remember.
start out with like, "I want you to pee on me"?
He said, I want you to belittle me.
Oh,
I remember.
Okay.
And I was like, so he called me, and so I'm talking to him. Like, I can't recognize his voice because I don't really like know the guy. And I was like, he's like, just make a guess. If you make a guess and the guess is right, I promise I'll tell you. And I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. So I said his name because our friend has a friend
Okay.
who is like obsessed with me. He's like, he's came to shows and stuff like that, and I've been told. and I was like, all right. So I said that guy's name. He hangs up. No, I just maybe whatever. He tells me, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
That's me. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, thanks for telling me. I'm not really interested. I just need to know. Click. Hang up the phone.
Okay.
So then he calls me back like 20, 30 minutes later, and he's like, $1,000. And I was like,
I'm listening.
To what? He's like,
That's it. I was right away. I'm like,
he's
what?
like, he's like to belittle me and do all that shit. And I was just like, I don't need $1,000 that bad. I hang up. Calls back again. He's like $2,000, and I was like, oof, that's actually a decent little amount
Dude,
of
I
money.
was in for 500.
Yeah.
So
250. Give me the job.
so I start doing so I hit him. I hit up people that are gonna like turn it down, and I'm like, so I hit up Talelli.
Yeah.
I hit like tough guys, the guys that would be like, that's gay, dude. Don't fucking do that. And I hit him up. Every one of them are just like, two grand's a lot of money, man. Two grand's a
And when
lot.
he says belittle him, was he explaining to you what he wants done?
No, not yet.
And did you have any idea? Did you like what you want me to like be like you and your dumb face? Like what was belittling to you?
He
What
just
did that
said,
mean?
yeah, I didn't know that hadn't been discussed yet.
Right.
So you weren't even able to tell him like this belittling includes sexual things because I don't like. That's where my issue is. Like, I'm not gay, but
Yeah.
for like you said, if it's just a matter of
Couple grand.
couple grand to belittle somebody.
So I was so I call him back up, and I'm like, listen, all right,
It's like a business
two
transaction.
grand, $2,000. I'll do it right now. And he's like, yes, coming right now. I'm like, what now? What does belittle mean? And he's like, I want you to like, punch me, throw me around. He's like, I want you to pee on me. And I was like, what? And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is so ridiculous.
Punch me?
Like beat him up. Like
And
beat
you're
him up.
like,
and beat him up.
you fight. You fight.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
When you say you fight, like you've got into fights, or you're a
No,
fighter?
you like trained, right?
Yeah, I have,
see you
yeah.
in a gi.
Yeah.
Like this,
I'd rather a trained fighter punch me than a non-trainer fighter. A non-trained fighter.
why?
Because
Because he knows
he's gonna
not
have
to.
more control over
Okay,
what he's doing
all
to
right.
you. In my opinion.
I don't want to get punched by Travis.
I used
Or
to.
pissed on him.
Not that I want to get punched by anybody, but like if I tell one of my friends, punch me, not too hard, like they're just gonna fucking rock you.
Yeah. All right.
Someone
fair
who's a
enough.
trained fighter, I feel like knows their strength and they're used to throwing
Yeah, for
lighter
sure-
punches.
for
heavier
sure.
punches.
All right. Fair enough.
I
That
just
makes sense.
I trust anybody who is more in like experienced in the
Well, for
craft.
sure, yeah. Like if someone said, "Hey, throw a baseball, hit me with a baseball," I'd be like, well, do you play baseball or do you just fucking I've thrown a baseball because
Yeah.
someone who throws a baseball
Yeah.
knows the fucking they can put
And I
range.
trust where they're gonna hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
they
know
can
the
put
spot.
range to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
Fair
Throw a
enough.
change up.
All right, you convinced me. Come and punch me in the face, Travis. I don't know. So you go there. This is the deal, and
Yeah.
you're gonna
So I
kick
go-
me around, throw mud in my face. And
Yeah, so I go there, I do it. We do it at like he's an acting coach, so he has this like studio. And so I went there and I did it. I just fucking dude, it was like traumatizing. I was just like, why?
Was it like tough
For
for
who?
It
you?
Him or
was.
you?
It was tough.
Because you're
dude.
beating up somebody you don't even want to beat up.
You know what it
Do you
was?
like walk in and be like, "Hey, what's going?" Or do you
Yeah.
walk in like
Is
fist
it like
loaded?
let's have a drink first?
The first few times I did it, I walked in like, what am I even doing here? 'Cause
Yeah.
It's odd, dude. I was like, is this gay or is this weird? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of it. I've never even been in anything kind of like this ever.
Okay.
Like ever, even kind of like this. So I was just like, I just didn't. So you get $2 grand in cash, and you're like, well, I mean that's a pretty nice stack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh sweet. And then so I was like, all right. And I didn't really know how to like just boil it down.
Now I don't know how detailed you want to get, but I like to really pry. Is he asking you to like? I want you to do it in your boxers, or
No, just come over.
okay?
Fucking do
I
it.
wasn't sure. You know.
But it's still. But he's like very he's very flamboyant.
Yeah.
So it's
he's
just
like,
like it's not.
scream when he
It's
got
not.
hit,
It's not like it's just like a guy like, hey, what's up, I'm gay. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like he was like, nah, that's a gay man. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah. You know.
So I was just like, so
I'm glad
I
we're
did-
doing this on Pride. Isn't it like June? Like
Oh,
Pride.
the first day of Pride Month.
Hey, if the, hey,
This is a tribute to all of our gay friends.
I'm just
Pride
saying.
Month.
We have a guy that'll
if this
kick
doesn't,
your ass.
if this doesn't say open-minded, then
Exactly.
Then what the-
dude? It's so true.
what
It's so
the fuck
true.
do you want?
This is what they want. Acceptance for anything, and I
No, I wouldn't say this is.
no,
No, I
I
would-
just mean
This
I
is
would-
what they want, guys.
I,
You see a rainbow, you start swinging and pissing.
I would not
don't
group
mean
that in with
this
this.
is the norm, but people want acceptance for their individuality.
He's like, he's
Like-
like, yeah, I heard that's what they want. Getting beat up in the street, you
Bro,
know?
this is acceptance, and he throws his
Like,
awful.
no, that is
right
something
hook.
different, brother.
Oh yeah.
That came out so much worse.
No,
than
I'm fucking
than
with
meant.
you.
No,
I'm
I
fucking
know.
with you.
So that first time you go in there, what's the first move you do?
I forgot what I even did. I think I just like told him to like, get on the ground and
Get on the
fucking-
ground, you filthy slut.
I fucking. I think I just tied his his hands behind his back and then I kicked him in the head or something like that. I don't know. I don't
You don't remember?
I think I honestly blocked it out. Like, I
Yeah,
think
no,
I really
it sounds
did.
like
Well,
you
that
did.
is something.
I think I really blocked out a lot of
almost
it.
feel wrong. Like I wouldn't. That's my.
It
the
did feel
peeing
wrong.
on somebody and doing other things like that or whatever. But when it comes to now, I have to like beat you up. I almost feel
The violence would be tougher than
yeah.
the
That's
peeing,
when
I
I
think.
feel like even though they're
the
asking
peeing
for
is
it,
kind of degrading.
it's degrading. But it's I hate to be like, but it's not harmful. Like I
Right.
can't.
Yeah.
You're not gonna break his face open
Yeah,
peeing on him.
you're not going to leave a black
and
eye.
he wanted me to punch him in the face. I'm like, I'm not punching you in the face.
Right.
I'm not having it because I don't need you having any marks. Because like I said,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know
Yeah.
this. I don't know this man.
This
He
guy
shows
could
up
be
at
like,
your
dude,
show.
this guy, hate crime.
Yeah.
And he kicked my fucking
Right,
ass.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where the violence part makes me nervous.
Yeah. So
He shows
that's
up at your show in the front row with a black eye and a missing tooth.
They
He's
were-
like, this is my favorite comic.
they were right. They were mostly just body shots because I wanted to keep it safe. I was like, I'm not doing this. What the fuck are you?
That's the only time keeping it safe with a gay guy
Yeah.
body shots.
So it happens like a couple more times, and I'm just like, listen, man, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I just
Yeah,
don't-
you were uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not all right with it. I don't want to do it anymore. And he's like, all right, what about 3,000? And I was like,
Oh my god!
and I was like, all right, fine. I did it for 3,000 for like a couple more times.
You
And
should have went up.
How
Like, listen, I'll
often
do
was
it
he
for 4.
asking for this?
he wanted it to be like a once a week thing, and I was like, yo, honestly, like I don't.
I want to know where his kid has all this money
I
from.
think it was family money. I think it was
Oh,
family
Jesus.
money. But
His family's like, get away from us, you creep.
This
Yeah.
is where I have the hard line of ethics, where it's like that's a lot of money to make. That almost would make your fucking year.
yo, it did.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like think
$3
about it.
grand?
Well, but think about for 2 months doing it once a week, and you're getting $2 grand, $2 grand, $2 grand, $3 grand. Like
And then so no, but we weren't
20. You can make 15, 20 grand.
We weren't doing it.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, once a week. But so we were like, so then I said no, and I was like, yo, I'm honest, I'm not. I don't care how much money you throw in my face. I'm not doing it again. And he's like, come on. He's trying to coerce me to do it, and I was like, it's just not. I don't like it, and it's fucking weird, and it's just like odd, and it's just, I'm not doing it anymore. So then like I just lost touch with him until it hit like I would say like September or something. I forgot when.
Yeah.
And he hit me up back, and he's like, "What about 5,000?" And I was like,
Oh my god.
"Okay, 5,000." And I did. I did.
We all got a point, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's why
I like that you're at least being honest. Because
No,
people will be like, no, I would never.
No, but that's why when people say like, "Would you do this for this amount of money?" And then it's usually something that's like
An absurd amount of money.
Like, yeah, the thing is worse that you just said, but the money is like way more. And I was like, listen, like I've done things on like a lower scale than this. Like you would say yes.
Yeah.
When the cash looks you in the face, it's a different fucking deal when that
And
cash
the cash
looks
is
you.
coming. It's not like he's like 3 and then I'll pay it.
Because you look at it, you're like, yo, you can do a lot with $5,000.
Yeah.
You could do like a decent
Jesus
amount.
Christ, Chick could get himself off the ground for $5,000.
Yo,
He'd probably leave the podcast.
Life-changing amount.
like there are people who could be like bad gamblers, and I'm in 10 grand, 15 grand debt. This situation, goodbye,
Oh
cleared,
my God.
cleared
Craig
up.
Carton
You
could have
telling me all I
cleaned
got
up.
to do is pee on you to get rid of my gambling debt?
Yeah, so you eventually get numb to it, but I didn't like that either. I was like, ooh, you're getting numb to
Then
it.
it gets too like.
Because then I was like, I think certain parts of you are dying right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, I think you're losing like a decent amount of your humanity.
How do you know when to stop?
I stopped, and I was like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore.
No. I mean, for the night. I'm saying.
Oh, no,
I mean, like
it-
on site.
I would be there for like 2-3 hours.
Oh my God. Would the guy be like injured after it?
No, I would space it out. I'm just gonna fuck him up for like 2 hours.
All right, you want to go for another round, pal? And then
Yeah, and I'll be
Smack him or
and I'll be
something?
fucked up when I did it. I was like, yeah, I can't.
yeah, you have
course.
to.
Because you gotta put some blinders on for fuck's sake.
Yes.
Does he like put down like plastic in the apartment? Or
Well,
anything?
it's a studio, and it was during quarantine, so the studio was closed.
Oh my God.
I wonder how often, if he found somebody else or it's something
Well,
he did before you.
I asked him, and I was like, "You fucking like doing this?" Because I was like, at first I was like, "Is this a ploy for him to like kind of set me up?" Because
Yeah.
it felt very weird, like
Yeah.
random.
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
Yeah, that was always like kind of lingering in the back of my mind, and I was like, "So, I mean, what is this?" Like, he's like, "No, I got like 5 other people. This is like what I do," and I was just like, "Shit,
God. Chick, you looking for a job?
dude."
Talk.
What did the peeing on the gentleman start like day one, or did that something that he was like he's in?
I think that was day. I think it was day one.
Day
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was day
He's
one.
like,
Because I
coming
didn't.
to full
You know
bladder,
what? I
too.
remember like not having enough stuff. Like not having enough things to do to him. Like I said, I've never done anything like
yeah,
this.
no, it doesn't.
So-
You do have to have an arsenal of
Yeah,
things
no,
you
yeah,
can
no,
do.
dude. There's like a whole like there's.
Well,
I mean, there's dominatrix. There's
I
like
was just
it's
gonna
a-
say I worked
yeah.
with someone who did dominatrix. She was this woman who would like she goes to whatever a club at night, and then people would come to her, and she would do dominatrix shit to a lot of these.
Yeah,
people.
no, dude, you can't.
And they
You can't.
have like a whole.
There's a whole routine.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
You can't just. And I
What do you
think-
have? A solid 7 minutes of
Yeah.
dominatrix?
I started getting better at it.
Yeah,
Towards
well,
like
you
the
know,
3,000 stages.
Yeah,
But
he's got a
let-
full 15 minutes.
But
now
it
he
was
could do.
but it was crazy. It was crazy. It gave me a whole new, I guess, a newfound respect for people who do that, because like I guess I never thought like you could just jump in there and do that, but
Right.
like I guess it never really hit home that you can't just jump in there and do that
can't.
until you did it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of difficult, because like I'm running out of shit here, and like I said, I can't just beat them up for 2 hours. Like you gotta have like a lesson plan.
You do though.
You do.
so funny.
It's
I
a
agree with
fucking.
this.
It's a fucking thing. And I was just like, wow, this is.
That's
open,
not even like a sexual thing for that kid. Probably. I mean, he gets off in his own mind.
I don't know. I
But
don't know.
What is it?
But there's things that
I don't
just,
know.
like, a lot of powerful people, because people are always looking up to them and they're talking down to everybody.
Right, yes.
Will love to be submissive from like things that this girl that I used to know that used to tell me about it. It's like CEOs that would come in and just get like fucking belittled and destroyed.
It's a weird thing. They're powerful during the
Yeah,
day.
and it's not even like, yeah, this guy may have happened to be gay and want another dude doing it, but like this shit is like common
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not common, but it's not as rare as you probably would assume. That like there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
gay, straight, whatever.
You hear that. You
That
know,
people
a
just
CEO,
into-
like, he fires a couple people, and then he goes
And then he
home.
wants to go
he's like,
out-
just call me, a sweetheart and smack me in the face. or something.
Yeah, that's someone of great power.
Weird, yeah.
Someone of great power.
Yeah. Wow. Is that the only time you've been paid for something like that?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You had to think.
No, I've been offered,
Didn't
but not by a
See,
guy.
I never get these offers. I never
Well,
get somebody
take a
offering
look.
me.
Travis
I
is a lot of-
understand that he's significantly better looking individual. But my point is,
He's surprised. I
not
never
even
get
the
these
fat
offers.
bald fetish guy person who's like, oh, let me see if this kid will fucking
Yeah.
piss and shit on me
Yeah,
for
but nobody's gonna
$1,000.
pay. Like, nobody's paying for that because they could find that anywhere.
They just. What do you mean?
No, for you.
Oh,
Like a
listen,
fat bald guy from Long Island, they could find. There's two of them in this room.
I know. Listen,
They're
I know
easier to
I'm
come
not,
by.
I'm not someone who's being looked at, sought after for this.
Oh my god.
But my whole point is, it's just like it's crazy to me.
No,
I'm not as like. I just think it's hysterical. to be
It's
honest.
hilarious.
It doesn't like I don't know.
And you could tell you're a good person too. Like, I know you're a good
Yeah.
dude, but like when it's real, it's like, no, it's real. Like, and it's when it's real life, like, that's kind of, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Dude, it's a lot, man.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
no, I was offered when I was younger. I was like 20. I was still in college. I was like right at the end of college, and I would work in and out, like, on my summer breaks and fucking winter breaks. I'd work at this pizzeria, and like one of the girls who would always come, older woman, and she was like, but like to me back then it was older. She was
Right.
like 45.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
now it's like, all right, whatever. But yeah, no, I was like 21. And she was just like, yo, where do you live? This and that. And at first she was like, oh, my husband. She always talked about like her husband's boat. And I was like, oh, like, are you guys like, like how are you guys together? You guys went out? And she's like, we go out all the time over here. I'm like, oh, okay. And it just like, but that, and I was even younger.
Does she want to cuckold her
So
fucking husband?
I was just always, I think she just wanted like a threesome or something.
Yeah.
Because like, but I never asked the right questions because I was so
Right.
young that a lot of it went over my head.
Do you regret not asking the right question?
I never,
think you could do?
I never saw the husband, but she was a good-looking woman.
Right.
But would you do it not even caring what the husband looked like?
You know what? I don't think I was as open-minded back then as I am now.
What about now?
Now,
I'm a fucking I'm open minded to shit. That's where I would.
if there was a, I guess if there was a right dollar.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Oh,
right
so you're
price.
a price guy.
I mean,
Everybody's
Hey.
a price person, and people who say they aren't,
Yeah, no,
probably
I'm
will do it for cheaper than
But like,
the
you
person
wouldn't
who
do it
said-
just for fun. Like, oh, this is a pretty lady. and
Yeah.
her husband's gonna be there. It's gonna be weird.
well, like they never said they would pay me, but they're like, we'll make it. It'll be worth your while. And I think she did say that.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure because then she was like, we're going out on the boat. Like, hey, we'll go out. We'll get there. Like we can give you these things.
Yeah,
we
you could
can
be
show
our
you a good time.
you could be our. You enjoy the
But there's like a certain like slinkiness to it when
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
like I remember when I was 16. When I was 16, there was I never really liked him. His name was Matt, and he had a mom like a younger mom. She was foreign, and she would like she was good looking,
Right.
and she would like playfully come on to us, but then it was always like me and my friend Andrew. She would always like it was more than playful.
Yeah.
But I'm even younger than 21 now, and like I remember like I was watching some movie. I was in Beer Fest, and it's a scene. You know that flashback scene? They're fucking
Yes.
and they're fucking in the barn,
Yes.
and she's like, "Oh, you like that position?" And I was like,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
haven't banged yet, and I was just like, yeah, and it went right over my head.
Yeah,
I was
love
like,
it.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be all right.
Jesus, this is a lifetime of opportunities that you've got.
But like that one didn't even hit my radar, and
Right, yeah. But I mean, the fact that this has happened throughout your life, that people are trying to
I'm a cool
pluck
guy,
you
dude.
up.
I'm a cool guy,
Some
dude.
people do put out a vibe that it's like this person's into it.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You like if I was like talking
He
to a
does.
few people, I'd be like, and talking to you two, I'd be like, this guy's B's not going to be the one that I want to have a good time with. Travis seems like he might have a good time. You know what I mean? Like there are vibes that people
Oh yeah,
give.
yo, Travis definitely has a good time vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm all good time.
Every time I've been with
Literally-
you, it's a good time.
Literally
Like,
nothing else that I can give to the
Yeah.
world.
Who cares though? That's what
Good
you
time.
bring, bro.
Hire me to be a good time.
And
Yeah,
what's great about it is, like you brought up earlier, that when we were younger, everyone would always be like, "Would you, blow this person or do this for $10 million?"
Yeah.
And it's like, when people would say no,
like
outta
a
here.
million. Yeah.
like
once you start hitting hundreds of thousands,
Yeah.
people now, like as you get older and you realize what that money is like. Thick,
But like, you know what? That's what scares me about getting older. Is like, yo, how low are we gonna sink? like I used
We're
to
gonna
be
sink,
like
baby.
I used to be unbreakable. When I was like, you when you're 20, you're like,
Yeah.
I'll never do this. I'll never do that. I only hook up with girls that are like 9 or 8.
I know.
I like I'm also I'm never gonna get fat. I'm never gonna play. And then you hit like 30, 35. You're like,
like,
I
fuck
mean,
it.
I'll literally do a lot worse
Yeah.
than everything I said when I was
I
20.
also think
Exactly.
you also mature in the sense.
Yeah, like-
because I think closing off, like I've found, I don't want to say the better looking the girl, the less likely she is to be fun in the bed, because I don't think that's true. But you don't give a lot of people opportunities who are very fun when
Right.
you keep your bar on just like looks.
That's
like,
a good way to look at it from a guy that can't get a hot chick anymore.
Who said I can't? I don't put myself out there at all.
Yeah, I
I
know
would
you
like to see if I do have any game and if I actually was out there, like really, fucking.
Yeah, I'm
Out
sure
there
he could probably.
I'm not saying I could. I'm not saying
you
I
can
can.
make a lot of money out
I'm
there. in
just
the streets.
curious if I could.
People need your company at night. That's what they need. Yeah, I think you do well out there, chick. Just
You are
put,
such a
put a little
piece of
effort
shit.
into it. Put a little
I
effort.
think
in
I have my lack there of effort. It doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help. Nothing's helping you.
What about you, B? How great are you doing?
Not good.
Yeah, so quick to belittle me.
You want to be belittled?
wanna be belittled?
I'll show you what belittling is. All right.
Step
After
on
this
his head and play the piano on him.
I'm gonna play do re mi while I smash your head into the
I
ground.
said no Pantera, no Pantera.
But I do think people's, like you said, thousands is all you need to do to get people to do things.
Like if someone said, there's always like, would you let this guy fuck your wife for like $1 million? I let him take my wife for a week.
yeah, take her out.
$1 million?
That's
Peace.
why I love the indecent proposal.
Have a
movie.
good
Is that
time.
a decent proposal or no? Which is the one where the guy lends his wife for the weekend? Demi Moore
I don't even
and
know.
I'm not sure.
Oh, is it with Alec Baldwin?
is it Alec Baldwin?
And he's blind? Or I'm just,
I don't fucking even remember. Indecent proposal. I think is the one with
Whatever.
Demi Moore rapes the girl, rapes the dude. But whatever.
I would let Demi Moore do whatever.
Yeah,
she
another
wants.
fun
do
one.
whatever the fuck
But
she
yeah,
wants
no,
to me.
like it's like I mean, okay, cool. You ever been cheated on? I can imagine it's like that, just way more professional.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you get that
and
money.
you get $1 million.
It's beautiful. It's
Cool. My
beautiful.
wife cheated on me 10 times.
Oh, look, they
But
just
I
put an
also have
extension
another-
on their house. I wonder how they did that.
Yeah.
My wife cheated
That
on
was a
me.
weekend. No, your wife's not cheating on you.
It's fine.
Cheating is when you don't know.
Right. This is
This is a business
yeah.
deal.
They went into business
I
together
am lending my wife out for this amount of money.
for this extended driveway. This is the way we do.
extended driveway.
Some people work overtime. I send my wife into a room with a guy named Sal.
for a weekend,
Yeah.
and now I have
Yeah.
a fucking no mortgage and an extension on my house.
So you also do acting. Is this like you act? Is this like a? Is this? I feel like this is a good way to get into character. When you get
You,
your.
you definitely had to be in a character. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't be myself.
How long have you been? You've been a comedian for
7 some change.
seven,
Seven.
and then when did you start acting too? And now I see you're old. You actually take acting classes. With one of
Yeah,
our
I would
friends.
say. I mean, like taking it seriously, I would say like this past year.
Past
but
year.
like, I mean, I just done like indie projects here and there
Okay.
for like from when I was like 26 on.
All right. I always think chicks should get into acting. He's really
I would love to get
well.
into
There's
trying acting.
you guys. There's a like a what is it? A class or something on Long
Yeah,
Island?
it's
you
a,
guys
yeah,
do?
it's a class.
Our friend Alex does it, and I always think you would be good at it. Chick is a very he's got like some kind of emotion inside him. I don't know. He emotes. I think he'd be great.
He emotes.
How'd you get
Try
into
it.
that?
I mean, fucking give it a try.
Yeah,
No, I really think you
I
should.
can't
You're
write, so
wasted
the
time.
comedy thing is never.
No,
gonna
the
happen.
comedy thing's not going to happen for him. I've tried to get him on stage for like last 3 years. It's
It's not going to happen. I'm not. I can't. I have zero confidence in myself. In that.
Because you sound like you would be a comedian.
He does, and he's funny too.
Listen, I could be funny. Like I always say, just because
You have a comedian voice.
He does.
That's very. I mean,
Like, hey.
And he also has like a distinct. He's got views that
Yes.
are very specific.
Listen, there's probably groundwork there to be a comedian, but I cannot write. I can't.
Well,
But I was never a good writer.
yeah, but you have to like learn to write. I think you just kind
I
of
guess.
figure it out.
I feel like some of it's a little bit of a natural, like.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say because I didn't know how to write at
Yeah,
first.
I had no idea to write.
But then, like, you take a class and they tell you.
You stick with it, and you're like, all right, this is kind of works together.
I would say take a class.
Yeah.
I mean, anything you're gonna do, definitely take a class
yeah,
on doing it.
a class is always good to
For you to just
figure
like
something out.
jump into open mics, try to navigate it by yourself, like that, you're a fool.
Yeah. It's
So
a
how did
mess
you
out
get
there.
into comedy and then the acting? I guess would be my question. I always like to ask all our comics.
I think I wanted to do comedic acting, so I guess I wanted to do acting more.
Okay.
But I didn't know how to get into it, and I just thought it was this. I don't know. I thought it was like this, which it is kind of like a process to kind of get rolling with it.
Yeah, I
But,
feel like it is.
I just didn't know how to do any of it, and so I left college, and then my mom found that class at the brokerage,
Oh, okay.
and I had been writing since I was 19, but like I said, I didn't know how to write, so it was just pages of just shit that of how I thought I would say things, because I've always been a fan of comedy since I was like a little kid.
Like you would write like
Yeah, just like it was just like
thoughts.
one big
Yeah.
fucking paragraph,
Yep.
and like there was no structure to it. It was just like I knew where my beats were, like where I thought it were,
Yeah.
where I thought they were,
Yeah.
and and I just based off of everything off of like, because like I said, I watched comedy my whole life with my dad, and then we took the class, and then that's how that started.
And a lot of people, I mean, maybe not a lot, but I feel like most comedic actors started out doing comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Doing stand up. Almost
Pretty much almost
yeah.
all.
all of them,
Yeah, Michael
right? I
Keaton
mean,
was one. Yeah.
I was gonna say almost every. I mean, Tom Hanks even tried. I mean, he wasn't really a stand up comedic.
I think he was in a movie about stand-up.
He was in a movie, but
Yeah.
he did. He
Did he?
was like he tried it. I think
Yeah.
he did it to do for the movie, but
Right. Yeah.
But
I mean, it's a good skill to learn, especially if you're gonna get into
It
acting.
is. It's also good for just like public speaking. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like if you
yeah.
ever got like a friend's wedding and they're like, "You're gonna get up and say some things." And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, I do this. This is fun.
Yeah.
I get
I've done
this,
it like
no problem.
4 times now. I'm like, get to a wedding. It's like a secondary thing now.
Dude, it was so funny. I was just at a wedding and a chick. You know what? She's okay, but she can be a bitch sometimes. And she was the sister of the bride, and so like she gets up and does a speech, and then like the husband's brother gets up and does a speech, and the girl fucking just ate shit so bad,
I've heard maybe one.
and she was she was being so mean that whole day, and I was like, that's what you get. That's what you get. You're bombed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. I've maybe heard one good maid of honor speech in the fucking 40
From a
weddings
woman.
I've-
Yeah, maid of honor. Yeah, I've heard one
from a woman, the maid of honor.
maid of honor. Well, Jen Reed, who's a freaking guest on the podcast, she did a maid of honor speech that was fantastic. Like,
Well,
she,
I wasn't
she was
there for that one,
No,
and
you
I'm not
weren't.
surprised by her.
No, she's
being
great.
able
She's
to do
great.
that.
But I have seen it. But yeah, it's few and far
Listen,
between.
because they're either not funny, and I'm not saying women can't be funny before I get attacked, because I don't believe that.
Oh, you're gonna get attacked.
But
Attack him.
Yeah, they're gonna belittle
they're
you.
either not funny, or they really just get too sappy, where it's like,
Right.
come on,
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta do a nice little mixture.
but when you do that, you got to keep it. People like once you start going to pages on your speech,
Oh yeah, you gotta keep
It should get-
gotta keep it short.
erased
Yeah.
and start all over.
Yeah,
That's my thing. People get up there way too long. I've seen a lot of bad speeches.
I know.
I've seen a lot of very good ones.
Yeah. No, I agree.
A bad speech is fucking.
But a bad speech is almost as good as a good speech.
If it's real bad in a way that everybody
Yeah,
starts looking at each other. at the table.
you gotta just like lower your shoulder and weather the storm until you cross that threshold where you're like, oh, it's so bad, it's good now.
Yes. Yeah.
But like, if you can weather that storm, because that's a hell of a storm.
Oh yeah.
That takes a certain type of person to cross over.
Oh my god.
Because that's like it's like you're walking through thorns.
one of the best speeches was at my cousin's wedding, and the best man speech was like 2 sentences. It was like, I don't know how you pulled this one. fucking like let's fucking party. Let's party.
That's like a
Dropped an F-bomb and fucking that was it.
That's a typical shit dude speech. Like, oh well, let's fucking party.
Yeah, I'm gonna let everybody get back to their Bud Lights and
You're like, hey, sit down, you fucking moron.
I've never done a best man speech.
Really?
Good friends with people, but I'm never the best man.
No, you're never the best. I could see that.
Although my brothers, because of my anxiety, was the only reason why I didn't have to do the speech.
Oh, really?
Me and my brother
You
were.
think you'd be good?
I don't know. I don't want to say yes because as much as I have a big mouth and I have opinions, I said I can't write. Like, writing a speech and being
I don't think
clever,
you've ever sat down and tried.
I've never had to. I've never been asked to.
Right.
So that's why I said I don't know.
That's what it is. If you sit down and try, I guarantee you could, though.
Maybe.
You're a talker.
But I've
I
never
should
had
set up,
to.
I should do a comedy show where.
If you ever get married, I expect to be the best man.
Well, no, you're not going to be. But like I would say, if I do,
I know I got to overcome Noah.
If
I
I do a
Noah
comedy,
can't make it.
Well, you're not gonna be.
if I do a comedy show, though, I'm probably never getting married. Let's face it. I should have you start off a show with giving me a best man speech to see what you would do. I would be interested in that.
To see if I can do a best man speech.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a fake bride so I could talk about the
We'll get
girl.
a fake bride. We'll dress Travis up as a
We'll just go Vicky.
pretty
It's
lady.
the closest
All
thing.
right,
As
whatever.
a pretty lady. Pretty
Ooh,
lady.
it's a pretty lady. So,
Oh boy, dude. Jesus
P
Christ.
has that weird look. But
What?
do you have any other shows or anything else that's coming up? Or?
I don't. Yeah, I do actually. Let's see. I'm not prepared to know of anything.
I'm not prepared to know of anything.
I'll be at One Eye Jack's June 19th. That is in Bethpage. It is I'll be at One Eye Jack's June 19th. I think it'll be in the backyard.
I do have some picks though this week.
Travis, you got anything? Any shows coming up that are good?
Tomorrow I'm at the comic strip.
The strip
at 8
Tonight
o'clock.
at the Wednesday night, the comic strip.
Tomorrow.
But this is going to be released tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So then, tonight,
so
guys.
That's what I'm saying.
You're like, I got to see this guy. Maybe they'll go. Anything after that? Or is your calendar dead? You're
Calendar's pretty
beating
dead.
people up in studios. What do you got going on?
I'm on the bigger, better things.
Yeah, good for you. But you do the strip a lot. You're at the strip a lot, right?
Yeah, pretty. I mean, like, I'm with like a group of like there's a producer and I'm with her and we're just like one big group. So we just kind of move around.
All right,
We're
good.
just at the strip lately.
Now, do you have any websites or Instagram pages or anything like that?
Trav_Grant on Instagram, and my website is www.travisgrantcomedy.com.
Ooh,
So if you wanted to check out
that out.
what I am doing.
Oh,
Before we do wrap it up,
yeah.
I have three picks this week.
Yes, you do.
Big fans of these. One is Ted Lasso on
Everybody
Apple.
tells me about Ted Lasso.
If you're a Jason Sudeikis fan, it's typical Jason Sudeikis comedy, but it's he is an American football coach.
Okay.
Who just takes his team to the national championship after they were like the worst team in football the year before.
Okay.
And he gets hired by a soccer team from England to coach their team.
Okay.
And it's a Premier League team. Really nothing to do about soccer. Like, they don't show the games, really. Like, it's just about him coaching a sport that he knows nothing about. And it's hysterical.
Okay.
Very good. On
All right,
Apple
that sounds
TV.
good. I've heard plenty of good reviews about it.
Yeah, it's called Ted Lasso. My other show that I wanted to is also on Apple TV called Mythic Quest.
Yes.
Now, this is the same creators of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Rob McElhaney.
Yeah, we're never going to get that
We're never
last
going to
name,
get
right?
that last name. And Charlie Day produced this and created it. And Mac is basically a video game maker, and he creates this game, and then it blows up to where it's one of the bigger games in the U.S. So he's got this whole company, and it's just about how the Office antics of them
All right.
creating this game.
I watched
and
the first two episodes.
It's
I really
hysterical.
liked it,
If
yeah.
you like It's Always Sun in
I
Philadelphia,
didn't think I would like it, but I enjoyed
I mean, if you like those guys, I think you're gonna like this. It's
Okay.
kind of it's not the same show, but it is that same type of humor. I feel. I mean, I don't know. It's my personal opinion. And then the last one is this is actually on Peacock, and I'm going to give credit to Downtown Ian.
Okay.
He recommended I watch this, and it's the new John Wayne Gacy documentary, Devil in Disguise, on Peacock.
I don't have Peacock.
I don't know where else it is. I watched it on Peacock, so I don't know if it's available anywhere.
Service available.
You need to when you watch as much shit as I do.
When you check, you need it all.
And it's just about that guy's a sick fuck. He's the one who they found 33 people.
Did he dress up as a clown? Was that guy?
He didn't dress up as a clown. He was a clown. He was a clown.
He was an actual clown.
He was
Alright.
did clown fucking gigs.
John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, that fucking guy.
He had 33 people buried under his house.
Oh,
Imagine finding that.
Oh, dude, they had to fucking basically tear the house down too. And he knew where every person was. Like, it was fucked up. But apparently the whole idea behind the documentary is that there's accomplices who would never
there was other people?
Conspiracy, or they think there was evidence that may have led to other accomplices and other bodies in other places.
Okay.
It was very interesting. I'm on the fence whether I believe that part or not. Ian thinks otherwise. So, I mean, it is a very good doc, and I highly suggest it.
All right, I like it. If I had Peacock, maybe you give me a Peacock.
The Sons of Sam was also.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was excellent.
That was a good one.
Well, I think that was a former chick pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great one. I love that, too, because that one, my mother knew the guy who got blinded.
Yes.
She knew him.
It's crazy how they find you with one thread of something you left untucked.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, damn, they got you.
They got him on the parking ticket.
Yeah. And then
Is that how they got him a parking
Yeah,
ticket?
and then they just started pulling stuff. They just went up
And this
from
was
that.
the 70s, too, right? They got him.
70s,
Today, that guy would have been
77?
found right away.
Yeah, today you're done. You're
Yeah.
dumb today.
So,
Well, dude, I like those picks. Travis, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, brother.
We have a gift for you,
what is this here?
courtesy of the Adult Babies.
Oh,
It's a
yo, for real?
yeah, of course.
Oh, shit.
So we appreciate you coming on, guys.
I like this,
listen.
brother.
Travis Grant is one of the funniest guys out there. I can't even.
Hey,
Every time you're on stage, you also were a recommended guest from people that listen. They saw you at a show that I wasn't even on, and they said, "Get this guy." You headlined.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, you headlined Mythology. They were there. They saw you, and so you were a special request. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Well,
And-
thank you guys for specially requesting me. I
Of
hope
course.
this lived up to the hype.
I
Yeah.
had a ball.
Yeah,
You're
I had a lot
definitely
of
someone
fun,
I'd
man.
probably enjoy hanging out with as well. So
You
you're
are-
more than welcome to come back on.
Yeah, you're a
I'm-
great
I'm-
comic, and appreciate it all, man.
I'm definitely down to come back again.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me.
Travis
Thanks
Grant,
again,
guys.
guys. If you made it this far, peace out.